Hello, everybody, and thank you for those of you who have come back. I can see some of you have, which is great to know. And welcome to week 10, I think, of the lockdown afternoon tea with me, Sandra from Tiverton, Bead and Wool Shop. So I hope you have your tea ready. So I have my cuppa here. So, well, yes, how has your week been? My one was same-ish. Very repetitive. I would say it's getting to the point when it's becoming very, very repetitive. And yeah, the mornings now I'm kind of mornings I'm doing going to shop. The shop is closed for business, but we are open for business. I know it's contradiction, but the shop, a physical shop, is closed, but we do sell wool. We sell online or by phone calls or so on. So I've been going into shop and I've been still clearing. I've been clearing the clearance from my stash to yours. For those of you who have been buying online, they know that nearly every day I add bits and pieces. And yes, so it's amazing how much stuff the shop accumulates. And it's all nice yarns. You see, I'm going in and I'm looking and I think, oh, that's nice. Yes, and how much I have left? 3 balls of that, 2 balls of that, 4 balls of that, whatever. And question always is, do I want to reorder it? Has it been the best seller of the year? Well, it hasn't been best seller of the year. We have had it for a while and we have bits and pieces left over and I want to clear it. And some of them are really lovely yarns. And yeah, we will talk about the clearance a bit later as well. And yeah, so that's what I've been doing. And the trouble is because some of those yarns actually have never made onto our website before. So it takes some time to take the photo, to put it online. And now the worst thing of that is that some things have been cleared out totally, which is great. And I have empty cubes ready for new stock. But some things I still have, you have left me with 1 ball of one particular color, or 1 ball of one color and 1 ball of another color. So I still don't have empty cube. So go on, get those bargains while they are there. So I have empty cubes because after this all very repetitive business of taking photos of the stock I don't want anymore. Oh, so yes, no, I could be disgracing myself. Hello, Rona from Angus. And I'm glad your order has arrived. And Angus is in Scotland, so so many people in Scotland are watching me. Yeah. And in Devon today, and actually the weather has been absolutely beautiful. Absolutely perfect weather if you have a garden. Well, it's not perfect weather for garden, but it is perfect weather if you have outdoor spaces to go and outdoor spaces. And something else says hello. So hello. Haven't seen you before, but anyway, hello. Yeah, so we've been, yes, and that's been mornings I've been in the shop, back around lunchtime, and then after lunch we going watering because the weather has been lovely here. But that means we have double size allotment and we have a garden and it all needs watering heavily. I have never seen raspberries shriveling up like that. We had such a great, they are flowering, the berries have formed, and I thought like, oh, 3-4 weeks and we will have first raspberries. And they're all kind of doing this. The tips of the raspberries are doing that, and the green berries are starting to dry out. So we have had a really, really good session of watering. I'm talking about gardening, which is nothing to relate, and we will talk knitting in a minute. The boring stuff knitting. Birds. Menace. It's so nice to see, like, we sit down and have a cup of tea, 3 o'clock says in allotment, like you do, working people. Uh, and it's lovely to see the birds. And I love, like I said to you before, I'm a strawberry girl. Martin is the raspberry man. So we don't have arguments who is eating the first. And a couple of days ago, I had first 2 strawberries. And yesterday, we harvested 6 strawberries. And they're all covered under, there's hoops with nets over them. And then we decided, oh, let's leave the pollinator. Let's leave it open for the pollinators to come in, right? Totally oblivious that last year we kept them covered all summer. We had really heavy crop, but they were covered, like we uncovered. I picked the strawberries, we covered them back up because the menace, the birds. Martin was there in the morning to open all the greenhouses. He came back and said, like, dear, I don't know how to break this news to you, but apparently the birds have had a nibble on every single half-ripe, nearly red strawberry. So I will not have strawberries today because of the birds. Anyway, now then, that's about the birds and the strawberries. So other than that, cooking is doing fine. I just about a few minutes ago remembered to switch off my tomato sauce, which I'm boiling for my pizza. We are making homemade tomato sauce for our pizzas. So as we have Italian neighbor, what I call the Martin's other woman in allotment, the 75 years old Italian lady, we have all the proper recipes. We are cooking how it should be done. All right. So my tomato sauce for pizzas has just about finished boiling. And luckily I remembered to switch it off before we start the podcast. Now then, how has been your knitting? Well, yes, before we go to the knitting, it's like other things is like sometimes people think like, well, a running shop, I mean, it's very interesting. It's very sometimes rewarding. But it's not only sitting down and knitting and thinking what I will knit next. Like I said to you, the clearance, we're doing the clearance, and I'm now gaining some empty cubes. And with that, there is a lot of work, a lot of thinking involved. And what else I've been doing, see, there is all my shape cards and catalogs coming through. That's what I've been doing. That's my paperwork from this morning, where I'm trying to work through and find another interesting new range, something which would be exciting and lovely. And with that, I might be spreading, now then, somebody will know, somebody will comment, I might be spreading bad rumors. But just before the lockdown, I think a couple of weeks before, I had a rep coming in from one of the yarn companies, the company who has Eric and Knight yarns under themselves. There is Wendy, Jamesy, Brett, another couple brands, Robin, I think, and something like that. And I haven't been dealing with them for various reasons before. And yeah, the chap left his card, and I thought, like, I will have a look on them. I will see what's their latest ranges, what colors they have. There might be something which would be suitable to fill the empty cubes. And I found out, if I go online and you look on their brand website, they have administrators in from 14th of April, which is really, really sad and shocking, because they're nice brands, but somebody will obviously, like it always happens, it's not the brands which have gone under, it's the people who distribute the brands have gone under. And somebody will buy them, somebody will pick them up, and in a few months, the business possibly will start to continue as normal. But yeah, that was a kind of a shocker. And the other thing, it always makes me laugh. Do you know when you, I think it's in every trade, like If you ever watch Have You Got New, have you, we have got new, have you got, have I got news for you, isn't it? The program on the BBC. And they always find these trade magazines where they take the funny parts out. Every trade has it. Every trade has a trade magazine where they heavily push you to subscribe. And there is one called Craft Business. And they're supposed to charge me £3.50 for it, but I have never ever in my life paid for it. It just arrives. So if anybody wants a subscription to Craft Business, it's £3.50 per issue. And you think like, oh well, that will be useful. Let's have a look through what's there. And you know what? This is how to fill the pages. And the most interesting thing is, let's say there is a business advice, 10 tips for managers leading a remote team. Really very, very useful for a craft shop owners. Really useful. There is another kind of top tips, like really, and all the best products, the products which they really recommend will be high flyers, do come from companies which they actually advertise. The bigger the advertising, the higher the product is on the recommended product list. And you think like, really? Do you think that we are so daft that we don't realize that you promote the products of the people who pay you to do that? Yes, so the craft business is always very, very useful. How to provide outstanding customer service. Yes, very interesting. Yes. I don't want to read. I don't know why I start to read it and think like you will be interested. The other thing is which they talk on, and that always makes me laugh. And possibly some of you who watch, some of you maybe have heard, but there is all sorts of business awards, right? There is the craft business awards and this type of awards. And I always think like, well, who is getting them? Who are these people who get them? Yes, there is the kind of British Knitting Awards and British This Awards. Who are those people who are getting them? And do actually general public know about it? Who are these people who award these awards? And then actually you can self-nominate for the award, or you can ask your mates to nominate you for an award. Anyway, so that's my little rumble. Let's go to knitting. Let's go to knitting. Hopefully that will be more interesting. How you've been getting on with the squares for West Yorkshire Spinner's Cushion. Remember last time I showed you this one, and I said that will be part of my bag, that I will make a bag out of it. And and as I said to you, I hate this. Well, I like the square, don't get me wrong, I like how it looks, but I hated making them. So last Monday, this week's Monday. It always confuses me how the English count, when it was last week or this week or this weekend or last weekend. Anyway, so this one is the second square. And the next square will be Monday, which is actually bank holiday, isn't it? 25th is bank holiday. So yeah, so this is the second square. I must admit that I enjoyed making this second square much more than I enjoyed making this. But now I have an issue. And because of that issue, I think this one will be one of the projects which, as it's cotton, it might be ending up as a kitchen decorations or pot holders, for that matter, because this one is too bubbly. My issue is, and that's possibly not the pattern, but my crochet, can you see how much bigger one square is than another? I mean, there are things which you can disguise with blocking, but I don't think I can stretch this one out. It's nearly an inch bigger. Because this one, I must admit, this one, I was so tense when I was crocheting it. that obviously my tension was all over the place. Excuse me, talking too energetically again. And the house is getting dusty again. Not cleaning again. Yeah, so that is my issue. And those popcorns do take a lot of yarn, but I quite like it. I think if it would be a cushion, like with 4 squares of this, I would quite like it. But now then, coming back to bargains, I was using this red cotton. And what did I do last week? I went to the shelf, I looked on those cottons, and I thought, like, do I want it? Do I want to reorder this, or do I go for another brand and order full new range? And I decided to go for the other brand and order the other range. So these ones went for £1 a ball. So now then, I need to look up, because it only struck me now when I was getting ready for the video, that I think I have sold my yarn and I will not have enough to even do another like 4 squares for a cushion, because this one obviously doesn't fit for that. So there we go. So that's my little rumble and grumble about this one. But if you are doing the cushion, I did enjoy this square much more. And I think if I would be continuing doing my bag, I might even decide to do most of the squares like that instead of that. But that's everybody is different, and everybody has, personal preferences, which well, luckily they vary. And on the break side, has anybody of you actually watched The Joy of Painting? My favorite man painting mountains and happy floaters in the sky. I think we're getting to the point, even though it's Martin, who's like, we start watching it, he's like, yeah, we will start with the sky and happy clouds. We need some happy clouds. Yep, we have happy clouds. And I must admit, he paints clouds it looks very easy. Let's put it that way. It looks very easy and really nice. But he always puts a tree in the front of the painting. And then it's like, oh, where the tree will go, and we both start to argue. Nah, he will put the tree on the right side. No, he will put the tree on this side. And yeah, it's 50-50 basically. Sometimes he wins and sometimes but there's nearly always there's a tree in the front of the painting. Oh well, so there we go. Has anybody of you started painting already? Not yet? Fair enough. Now then, there we go. And this is my 2 bothering balls. And I was going all right up till last night. And I have only myself to blame. But when you knit and you think like, I'm doing something wrong. It's something is wrong, but you read the pattern, and because you have done it once before, you feel very confident and very sure of yourself. Do read the pattern carefully and read properly. And don't presume that you know it all. So there. It happens even with the best ones. So I changed the color. And this row is supposed to be increase row. I know it's done twice. I would have gone even further up. If I miscounted on this, I suppose at the moment I have 411 stitches. And it does take time to count them, And I started the increase row, misthreaded, finished the row, and on the way back, I started to count as I was knitting, And I got to the other end, and I had something like 456 or something like on that. I thought like, I have totally miscounted something, because 1 or 2 stitches, it's easily, you just put it down to miscalculation or miscounting. And then just in the next row, you kind of lose one or create one if you run short or you have one too many. But like 40, 50 stitches difference, really? So I counted them again for 15 minutes. I counted and I got to the same number. So which is like 40, nearly 50. There was about 50 stitches difference. But I had thinking like, how did I manage that? Oh no, I misread the pattern, did I? So I ended up, but luckily the increase, you can see the increase, there is a change of color. So I could, and it's circular needle, so I could take one end of the needle and just start from the other end, right? Like do that. And I was just picking up the row where I miscalculated. Like, I was just picking the stitches with this needle before I unraveled. So I managed to get the needle in twice and then just push take the 2 rows of the new color out. Thanks God for the color change, because if I wouldn't have the color change, I wouldn't say where to go. And I must admit, it wasn't the easiest job because, of course, the yarn is the one which is the 4 separate strands, and it was a bit of a jiggle. See, that's the 4 separate strands of yarn. And somebody asked me on one of I think it was on Instagram or on a Facebook, where I put a picture of the shawl. How do I alternate the colors? Yes, alternate the colors. So I have all I have done from the beginning, and you can see how the color changes are now coming in. Can you see that? There's 2 balls, 2 contrasting balls, 2 different colors. And all I'm doing is on this particular pattern, like you see there, they asked for, because it was 7 colors originally, so there is 2 colors together, and then I just use one, and then I change to another one, and then I change, and then I use again both together. So it just alter like that, and just think like which color would look better. It's like after this one, I thought like, do I want a dark piece or do I want that color? So I decided to do the darker piece because there was an option to, you can continue either of them. So I hope that kind of clarifies, so I can refer people to this video if they ask a question. So there we go. So that's my little, just don't lose the stitches again. So yeah, I would have gone further up if I wouldn't need to pick out last night. And I was pretty annoyed because, well, good news is that I didn't hit another row of like 450 stitches and then think like, well, that doesn't work. The pattern doesn't match. Yeah, so there we go. But that's the good news, that I only did 2 rows wrong instead of like 10. And I'm nearly, on this shawl, I'm nearly on the last kind of part of pattern before edging for the small size. But I have awful lot of yarn still left on the ball. And I looked on the total yarn calculations. These balls are 800 meters each, or thereabouts. The shawl small size only needs around 1000, I think it was. But the big size, which is really nice, there's another extra section which I haven't done, this kind of overstretchinality things, quite nice. And I thought like, well, that would be a waste to actually stop on the small size because I will waste quite a bit of yarn. So if I go for the big size, my dilemma is I have very, very little yarn possibly left, and I would be using all the balls like to that, and that is a bit worrying. Yes, but I think I will go for the big version. The only thing is, hopefully I will not go wrong again, and then I kind of, yes, I hate unpicking. As soon as unpicking is involved, I'm off on the next project. So that's why this one, because it's 2 different sizes, I'm off to the next project. And to be honest, I really enjoy knitting that shawl more than crocheting these squares. And that's purely me. There could be somebody who will be telling me off for saying that, but because they just love crochet and they like, yeah. I do like this though. Can you see the little shimmery gold going? Yeah, this the yarn is the red doesn't transfer on a video at all because it looks orange. But this red is like YouTube red, like the even brighter. So it's really nice and but so it's I think I maybe have a couple bowls left. So but they are in a bargain basement, so possibly they will be gone by tomorrow. Because that's another thing. I'm putting weekend bargains. I have put some things on already, but I haven't promoted it on a Facebook or internet or Instagram. But tonight I will be putting promotions on Facebook and Instagram. So there are some new things on already, and then hopefully before 6 o'clock I will manage to put some more, another lot on. So go and have a look before it appears on Instagram. So there we go, and there is this forgotten beauty. And I must admit, again, I haven't done because I have reached the middle of the. Where is the middle? Yeah, there we go. We're going this way. See, that's my shoulder, right, on this waistcoat, and that is the will be middle of the back. And at the moment, it's all kind of rolling into the one, but you can see there is quite a. If you look, the shoulder width is quite sensible. So there is more fabric than it actually looks in this sausage. So if this one is the middle of the back, you can see even if I put it in the front. So there is a reasonable, you know, the width is, it will cover even my bum. But now with this one, I have sold out, I think, on the white alpaca. Meanwhile, I have sold out. So I need to replace another order with the Isager people and hope that they're well, they send it. I think DPD is pretty much on track with deliveries. So, and I will order some more. I really like this alpaca, what they call alpaca 2, which is, I mean, it comes in skeins, but their colors are really nice, really juicy. It is a fine 4-ply, so it is for fine knitting. It's same like with together with this one. It's still, I'm using what needles? I would say these ones are, you can see it's quite fine. So 3.5 or 3.75 millimeter needles, which is like what, size 9? Size 9 to 10 British? Yeah, so this one I kind of, it has stopped for a minute because I have a little bit of white left, but I need the white. I will need to finish this one in the brown, and then I will need the white to do the stripes so I can then follow into the, and then I'm off because then I can knit up to there, to the other side, until the white, I need more white. And yeah, hopefully by that time, hopefully the shop will be open. Yes, it's yeah, so it's kind of, I'm a bit, even though I'm saying I'm working through and I'm putting the orders together with all sorts of interesting things with, various companies, I'm a bit kind of, I'm holding back because I don't know when we can get in and when you can come in. Online is all very well, but oh, and another thing is I thought like, oh, I will do one live podcast. I can go to the shop, but the shop is like a tip. No, it's not. But it's like mausoleum. It's covered up with dust sheets. And where I've been sending and packing the orders, if the shop is open, you are forced to tidy up after yourself or put the yarns back in the shelves where they're supposed to be. Now it's, yeah, they can stay on the table. I will come back. Oh, I will need them tomorrow anyway. I need to send them out. Somebody will order them tomorrow. And I'm worried. I'm seriously worried that the Boris will come out like he did last time, Sunday night, 7 o'clock, and tell, well, everybody can go to work tomorrow morning, Monday morning, carry on regardless. No, we can't. We can't. I need time. I need 3 days to get the shop back into shape. And if we do need to put some safety measures in place, I need time. I need to buy enough sanitizers. I need to buy the floor sticky tapes to put you 2 meter distances on. It's like, oh, I can't do it. And I'm thinking like, well, it might be clever to prepare for it now, but to get the stuff in place now, so then it wouldn't be such a rush when the dates are told and when we are told that we can open. Oh, yeah, well, the weather is too good and the birds are eating my strawberries. So I need to go and look after them. So I really can't make myself to go and buy hand sanitizer in the quantities and sticky tape, floor sticky tape, non-trip hazard sticky tape, so I can put it on the floor. I just can't make myself do it. I just bury myself in the yarn catalogs at the moment and pray for the best. I pray that we will be given like 3-4 days before they announce, and then the shops can open. Which I don't know. It seems like in a town everybody is kind of, when you walk through the streets now, to compare with the first few weeks of the lockdown, you can see in every shop, in every business, there is somebody in there. Of course, the shops are not open because we can't by law, but somebody is in there, kind of in the background, kind of quietly digging. So that is nice to see that somewhere life in the background continues. But yes, we need the life on the surface as well, don't we? But it will be fine. We will keep knitting. There is a lot. Yeah, would you believe it? Talking of ordering, I have, and I should have physical inform pack next week. Pre-ordering autumn. Has anybody actually thought about autumn yarns? There are some nice, interesting things. Oh, and I'm nearly talking of pre-ordering. There is one thing for those of you who managed to sit through this time and listen to me. I asked for it because a lot of Rowan patterns you can buy online as a download, and you can buy them on Ravelry if some of you are Ravelry friends. And I asked for the information about the top 10 bestsellers online, or the top downloads, the patterns which people really, really like. And I was sent the information, and there is one particular pattern which I would say to you, if you're listening this, and I will show you as I tried to make the picture big. There we go. It's this pattern. Can you see without? There is a little bit of cabling. It's a nice kind of boxy cardi, nice simple shape. Oh, no, you don't want that. You don't want to stay big? No, and not to reflect the windows. So there we go. It's really nice. It takes between 500 and 600 grams of DK. Obviously, it's done in the Rowan, and it's done in, I think it's Moordale. But even the biggest size, like they're quite generous with the biggest size. It takes only 600 grams. And the beauty of that is that pattern, it's called Skylark, SKYLARK, birds. That's how I remembered. It's a funny connection, but anyway, Skylark. This pattern is by Martin Story, and it's free. It's free at the moment, and that was the comment from the rep when she emailed me the top 10. If I would be you, I would be going on the website and downloading that pattern for yourself now. So even if you decide not to knit it, the pattern, and she said it might be a mistake. So once you finished watching me, go on the Ravelry, find a Martin store, or find Rowan yarns, or just what I did, I googled search engine, put skylark pattern, and something will come up and it will say skylark on Ravelry, or I will try to put a link below, but I'm getting carried away with other things. And yeah, link I will try to put below so you can click on it, but normally the live videos appear only like 24 hours later. You can watch it live, but then if you want to re-watch it on YouTube, I think it appears like around 24 hours later. So this video is live now, and then it will be for reviewing only like sometime later. Anyway, so Skylark pattern free. Download it free and worry about yarn later. So there's been some other nice free patterns going on, but this one is particularly nice, and you can knit it in any other double knitting yarn, which is great. Just make sure you have enough. And if you need any advice about it, which yarn to use for this, give me a buzz. Because there is other patterns which I hope I will, that's one of the things we're working on. I would possibly, hopefully, get permission from Rowan to sell the pattern downloads as well. And then I will be making up a lot more kits. So you have the option, with a downloadable pattern. So instead of kind of digging and trying to find the yarn and how much do you need and so you can have a kit with downloadable pattern from me. So that's just about what we're working on. And watch this space. So there might be some new things coming. Oh, it depends on deliveries. Might be already end of next week. So thank you very much for watching me. Keep knitting, crocheting, whatever you do, gardening, cooking. And I will see you all soon, which will be next week, Friday, whatever the date is, that Monday is 25th, bank holiday, 26, 27, 28, 29th of May. And maybe that would be the last week. And then I go back to shop. And then we will be back to normal podcasts, isn't it? And then you can come into shop and see me. Not for too long, 2 at a time, but hopefully. Anyway, thank you very much and see you also. Oh yes, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel. I supposed to say that in the beginning, shouldn't I? Bye.